Welcome, fellow yogis around the world. I'm delighted that we're going to be practicing together, making these movies from my home for you in Maui, Hawaii. Let's start in seated Vajrasana, pulling the buttock bones back and out to the sides, palms facing up to the sky, shoulders rolled back and the eyes closed. Sitting tall, sitting straight, finding more and more length and ascendance in the front spine. Roll the shoulders back, lengthening the clavicles, and opening the sternum chest more and more, feeling that broadness, that space, that freedom. Relax completely the face, and let the exhalations quieten and pacify the brain, bringing that softness and turning the senses inward to this rich inner world of our practice. And now bending the elbows, press the palms together in front of the sternum chest. Re-roll the shoulders back. Feel the dorsal spine and the shoulder blades, the back body beginning to press in to open the sternum plate, the energy of the heart, of the fourth center of consciousness. And now keeping the sternum lifted, gently drop the chin down towards the chest, surrendering the brain to the heart, before gently releasing the hands and slowly opening the eyes. And so in this way we're now ready to start. And we're going to start with the Yoga Mudrasana in Vidasana. So just widening the knees apart and stretching the arms forward. Lengthen the arms, keep them vibrant, walking them forward so that more and more length is being felt in the trunk before bringing the forehead to the floor. Notice how it's just my fingertips on the floor and the palms are lifting up. Feel how the forearms in this way can lift higher away from the ground, they're not dropping. And you can really spiral the arms so that the eyes of the elbows are turning up towards the sky. Feeling that spiral of energy coming up through the arms that creates that broadness in the shoulders, that decongests the gateway of the neck, of the throat, of the jaw, of the brain, of the face. Soft, smooth inhalations, soft, smooth exhalations, feeling yourselves everywhere. Feel your length, feel your broadness, stretching forward, gently pushing back. And now inhaling, looking up. Coming onto your hands, onto your knees, turning the toes under, keeping the knees bent and pushing yourselves back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Stretch the arms, stretch the spine, push the buttocks to the sky. And now slowly begin to straighten your legs. Keep the heels lifted up high off the floor and try to lift the lower buttock bones higher and higher to the sky. Push the front thighs firmly back, feel the backs of the legs broaden. Keep the spiral in the arms, the inner elbows moving forward so the shoulders are broad. Pressing into the heels of the hands firmly, squeezing the four corners of the knees, lifting the buttocks higher and higher, feeling the stretch coming to the waist, to the trunk. Press the back ribs in to open the chest to the front thighs. Have a smooth and even breath that's placing itself inside the body, the inner body coming alive, expanding and opening. And now coming forward, stepping the feet forward, and finding in this way UTTANASANA. So the feet are nice and parallel, the width of the mat. Draw the kneecaps firmly up, feel the roots of the thighs starting to engage. As you press down into the feet, find that ascendance, that energy rising up through the legs, making them compact, drawing them up into the hips, and pushing the buttocks to the sky, spreading them apart, feeling that broadness. Keep using your hands to pull yourselves lower and lower down, closer and closer. Pressing the back ribs in to open the chest to the front thighs. Re-squeeze the knees. Draw the inner knees up to the inner groins. Suck the inner groins into the hips as you press yourself forward. And now inhaling and looking up. Lengthen your front spines. Broaden your shoulders. Move them away from your ears. Re-squeeze your knees and your thighs firmly up as you press down into the feet. Feel more and more length coming to the front spine, the anterior spine. From the pubic bone to the navel, from the navel to the sternum, from the sternum to the collarbones. Create more length, a longer line. Keep broadening the shoulders, finding that openness, that broadness. Bringing the hands slightly higher up now on the shin, rolling the eyes of the elbows forward, lengthening the clavicles, more length in the front spine. And then coming up and finding TADASANA. Rolling the shoulders back, charging the arms. And from there, inhaling and lifting the arms up to URDHVA. Find your length, find your verticalness. More and more tallness coming to the body, pushing down to stretch up, stretching up to push down. Keep squeezing the elbows straight, stretching the fingertips. Make sure the lumbar is still long, the tailbone is still moving forward to the pubic bone. Stretch the front waist, stretch the side waist, stretch the skin of the armpits. Keep reaching up more and more, trying to bring the upper arms behind the ears. Again, trying to move the upper arms back behind the ears. Find that length of stretchingness and move the trapezius muscles down so the cervical spine still has its own length and sense of emergence. And then exhaling and coming forward and finding Uttanasana with the feet together, hands on the floor. Make sure your knees haven't buckled. Re-squeeze the four corners of the knees. Redraw the thighs upwards into the hips, all the way up the length of that long thigh bone. And now stepping back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Stretch your arms, stretch your legs. Spread the fingers, spread the toes, make the joints of the body very firm. Traveling inside, sensing, feeling, where is there openness, where is there droppingness? How can you create more evenness, more length, more broadness? And now coming into Chaturanga 1, tucking the tailbone, front shoulders are lifted. Moving forward to Chaturanga 2, placing ourselves correctly now to find URDHVA Mukha Svanasana. Our first one, so nice and gentle, don't put the head back yet. Try to push the sternum forward and then begin to see if the head will come back without shortening the cervical. So every so often you have to stop, re-lengthen the back neck, then bring the head back more. Shoulders back, tailbone down, press into the tops of the feet. And now exhale back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the fingertips off the floor, press into the heels of the hands, refirm your joints. Push the front thighs back so that the weight, the energy of the body is being moved back. Press the back ribs in, open the chest more and more profoundly. Stretch the intercostal muscles, broaden, push the sternum open. And now, stepping the right leg forward, and from here we're going to find PARSVOTTANASANA with our fingertips on the floor. Roll the back thigh in, stretch the front leg, walking the fingertips forward. Have length in your arms. Keep walking the fingertips forward till you feel they're almost going to come off the floor. And strongly draw the right femur bone into the hip socket. More and more. The roll of the back leg is firmness. All of the weight of the body is pushing into the back leg. Keep lengthening the arms, lengthening the trunk, lengthening the front spine. And then exhale, stepping the left leg forward, putting the right leg back, changing sides. PARSVOTTANASANA with fingertips on the floor on the left-hand side. Roll the right pelvis to the left, firm the back leg, push into the back heel, and as you walk the fingertips forward, lengthening the arms, lengthening the trunk, firmly suck the left kneecap and the left thigh muscle up the length of the left thigh bone, bringing the femur bone of the left leg firmly into the hip, making that impression, that sensation. Keep stretching the arms, stretching the waist, stretching the front spine, pressing the back ribs in. And now stepping the right leg forward, and let's find PADANGUSTHASANA. The feet are the width of the mat, facing forward, holding onto the big toes. Take the time to first inhale, look up, and really try to arch the back to lengthen more the front spine. To feel that slight tearing sensation in the skin fibers, the muscle fibers, so you really feel the front of the body opening, shoulders broad, before exhaling and pulling yourselves down to PADANGUSTHASANA. Pull firmly with your fingers on your toes and resist with your toes against your fingers. The elbows will bend as the body opens. Let them bend to the side. And with that action, broaden the shoulders and visualize the muscles along the spine broadening away from the spine, keeping that broadness. And now, inhaling and looking up, let's place the hands underneath the feet for Padahastasana, so a little bit more of a pull. So first of all, stretching the front spine, roots of the thighs firm, shoulders broad. And now begin to pull yourselves down closer and closer. Watch for the kneecaps. Very quickly they drop. Keep drawing the kneecaps up, the inner knees up to the inner groins into the hips. Shoulders broad, sides of the neck even. Pulling with the arms for length and broadness in the muscles of the back, pressing the back ribs in to open the chest. And now release, putting the hands on the floor and jumping back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Restretch your arms, restretch your legs, bring that alertness to the body. Softness to the face, quietness to the brain, but more and more compactness and alertness and inner vibrancy to the body. Lifting the sit bones to the sky higher and higher. Make sure you feel that they're broadening apart from each other as the quadricep muscles are pushing back, The thighs are very slightly rolling in, a slight spiral of energy in the legs, and in this way the sit bones can broaden as they lift. And now from here, coming to Chaturanga 1, press evenly into the heels of the hands, Chaturanga 2 onto the tops of the feet, and from here to URDHVA MUKHA SVANASANA. See if you can bring the hip bones a little bit closer to your arms. Roll the front shoulder girdle strongly backwards, the clavicles becoming long, the back armpit spiraling to the front armpit. Try to push the sternum forward more and more. Keep the tailbone tucked, press into the tops of the feet, and now see if the head will come back to lengthening the cervical, chest open, and then exhale and back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Re-squeeze your knees, refirm your joints, re-lift the sit bones to the sky, broadening them apart, pressing the shoulder blades in, and now step the right leg forward to a nice wide lunge, gently turning and twisting to the right, feeling the stretch of that left front thigh. Keep the back leg rolled in, keep the tailbone moving forward, and then bending the back leg and reaching with your hand for the outside ankle, kneeling Eka para BHEKASANA, that wonderful stretch of the front thigh, which is fantastic because it also releases the back, the abdomen. So much is linked to the tightness of the quadriceps. And then gently releasing that foot and coming back to plank pose, shoulders broad, eyes of the elbows facing forward, legs charged, before stepping the left leg forward to a nice wide lunge, resting the thigh on the floor, and turning and twisting now to the left, the skin of the left outer hip rolling down towards the ground. Shoulders back, chest open, feeling the stretch of the thigh. And now bending the back leg, reaching with the hand for the outside edge of the ankle, drawing the foot towards you, but as you draw the foot towards you, keep the buttocks, the iliacs pressing down, and the sternum, the chest, lifting to the sky, pulling the foot closer, closer, stretching the quadricep, before gently releasing and stepping back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Spread again your fingers, your thumbs, your toes. Find that sense of alertness in the limbs of the body, stretching the trunk, stretching the abdomen, opening the chest, pressing the back ribs in. And now step forward and re-find Padahastasana. Feet the width of the mat, parallel, hands underneath the feet. Lift the inner arches of the feet strongly, so much so that really the hands only feel the pressure on the ring finger and the little finger. Lift the inner ankles strongly up to the inner knees. Lift the inner knees strongly up to the inner groin. Suck, pull up. Press yourselves forward more and more. And then exhale and release. Bring the fingertips to the floor in front of you. Keep the legs charged. Roll the shoulders back. Try to push the front thighs back as you stretch the front trunk, the front spine. More length, more freedom. Before exhaling, releasing, and gently coming up to standing. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Relax the jaw, the tongue, feel your centrality. And then exhale and release. So we're going to come to some standing poses now. So coming to stand in Tadasana, facing the long edge of the mat. Roll the shoulders back, stretch the arms. Lift the chest, keep the legs firm. And now bending the knees, and exhale, jump the feet and arms apart. Utthita TRIKONASANA. I'm doing the mirror image of you. So the right foot is open, the left foot is turned in. Inhale, stretch the arms, lift the chest, and exhale, coming down to the right. Place the right hand on the shin, on the ankle, and stretch the left arm up to the sky. Keep pushing all of your weight into the outside edge of the back foot. Draw the front kneecap and the front thigh firmly up the front leg. With an exhalation, move the right buttock bone forward so it's not poking out. Move the tailbone forward to the pubic bone. And now suck the pubic bone up to the sternum so it doesn't drop. Lengthen the front abdomen, lengthen the front spine. Press the back ribs in, open the chest, and stretch the arms. And now inhaling up and turning to the left foot open, the right foot turning in. Stretch your arms, lift your chest, and begin to come down towards the left, placing the left hand on the ankle, the shin, stretching the right arm to the sky. Make sure the weight of the body is pressing into the outside edge of the back foot, and draw the front kneecap and the front thigh firmly up the front thigh bone. Femur bone coming strongly into the front hip. With an exhalation, push the left buttock bone forward over and over again, pushing the tailbone forward to the pubic bone, stretching the front spine, stretching the arms, opening the chest. And now inhaling all the way up and coming again to TRIKONASANA on the right-hand side, making the legs a little wider. And exhaling, see if your fingertips will come and reach the floor this time. Make sure your back leg is turning in, lifting the inner arch of the back foot, pushing into the outside edge of the foot. Draw the front thigh firmly into the hip, right buttock moving forward. Turn and twist, bottom abdomen to the top. Re-stretch your arms, push the sternum open, and relax the face completely. Move the trapezius muscles down the back so the neck stays clear. And then inhaling up and turning the right foot in, the left foot forward. Feel that broadness. Inhale, lift the chest, stretch the arms. And exhale, coming down to the left, drawing the left femur bone into the hip socket as you come down. Stretch the right arm to the sky. Don't let the legs collapse. Keep lifting the inner arch of the back foot, pushing into the outside edge of that foot, drawing the front femur bone strongly into the hip, moving the left buttock forward over and over again, stretching the front body, back ribs pressing in, stretch your arms, lengthen the clavicles, let the front face recede backwards, soften the tongue, the face, the brain. And then inhaling up, keeping that length, that broadness. Coming now to PARSVOTTANASANA on the right hand side. Turn the right foot open, the left foot in. Stretch the arms, stretch the legs, inhale. And exhale, begin to make a square with the right leg, slowly descending. Keep the back arm alert, the back leg alert, pushing into the outside edge of the back foot as you bend the front leg. When you've made a square with the front leg, reach with your right arm and place the fingertips on the floor on the inside edge of the foot. Stretching the left arm to the sky, turn the palm and extend the arm diagonally over to the right. Push all of the weight of the body into the back leg, into the outside edge of that back foot. Keep your toes lifted. Use the bottom arm to push the inner knee back. Move the right buttock bone forward, turning, twisting, roll the bottom abdomen to the top, stretching more and more that left flank. Stretch your arms, squeeze your elbows straight. Trapezius muscles moving away from the ears, and the back ribs pressing open to open the chest. And now inhaling up, lift the chest, and turning the left foot open, turn the right foot in, PARSVOTTANASANA on the left side. Keep the back body alert as you begin to exhale, making a square with that front left leg. Tailbone moving forward, chest lifted. And when you've made a square, bring the left fingertips to the floor and stretch the right arm to the sky. Turn the palm and extend that top arm diagonally over to the left, finding the stretch of the right flank. Make sure all of the weight of the body is pressing firmly into the outside edge of that back foot. Use the bottom arm to push the front inner knee to the outer knee and move the left buttock bone forward, the tailbone forward, rolling the bottom abdomen to the top as you turn and stretch and twist. Front shoulders back, back ribs in, chest open. Then let the front face recede so there's softness in the brain. And then inhaling up and turning the left foot in, facing forward, lifting the arches of the feet, charging the legs. Lift the chest. And now place the hands on the back hips, turn the toes in even more, re-lift the arches of the feet and firmly find the outside edges of your feet, even more than you thought possible. Use the hands to push the buttocks forward as you arch back, front shoulders rolling back, chest open. And then exhaling and coming forward, PRASARITA, PADOTTANASANA, fingertips on the floor. Inhale, look up and try to stretch your front spine, your anterior spine, making it longer than the back spine. And having established that, exhale forward to the full pose, walking the hands back and bringing the crown of the head to the floor. Make sure your feet haven't lost their charge, pressing down into the outside edges of the feet, and redraw the thigh muscles upwards into the hip sockets. Roll the thighs in towards each other. Widen the buttock bones apart, broaden them, lift them. Press the back ribs in, keep the shoulders broad. An even sensation in the neck, on the crown of the head. Keep the arms parallel, don't let the elbows open away from each other. And now coming up, coming to a twisting PRASARITA, PADOTTANASANA, reaching for the outside edge of your right foot. Turning, gently twisting. Make sure that you keep both of your legs with equal and even vibrancy, even though you're twisting to the right. And now come and twist to your left. And the same principles. As you twist, draw both roots of the thighs up firmly and evenly into the hip sockets, turning and twisting, not allowing the inner legs to collapse or the knees to bend. And releasing, and now turning, walking the fingertips to the right, and this time turning all the way forward to face the short edge of the mat. Re-roll the back thighs in, walk the fingertips forward, draw the femur bones into the hip sockets. Have a deeper experience of PARSVOTTANASANA. Relax the face. Keep lengthening the sides of the trunk, lengthening the waists, and keeping the weight moving over and over again into the back leg, into the back heel, as you walk the fingertips forward. And now stepping back from here, finding plank pose and moving into Chaturanga Dandasana, firmness in the legs. Chaturanga 2 onto the tops of the feet. URDHVA MUKHA SVANASANA, moving the front hips closer to the forearms, pressing the buttocks down, trying to make more length in the front body in the abdominal cavity, lifting the sternum, head back, cervical long, roll again the front shoulders back, press the shoulder blades in, lift the head, and then exhale back to ADHO MUKHA SVANASANA. Lift the buttock bones, push the front thighs back, firm the knees, firm the elbows, press the chest open, keep lifting the sit bones higher and higher, squeezing the four corners of the knees. And now step that same leg forward, refinding PARSVOTTANASANA, just creating an imprint, straightening the legs, roots of the thighs firm. See if you can get an extra sensation, an extra depth, the sternum meeting the thigh, before coming again to the middle through PRASARITA PADOTTANASANA, and now turning all the way to the left and finding PARSVOTTANASANA facing the short edge of the mat. Refirm your legs, make more and more compactness in the legs, and push the weight of the body into the back leg, into the back heel, as you walk the fingertips forward, all of the weight of the body moving back. And now stepping back, refinding plank pose. Find the firmness, tailbone down, coming to Chaturanga, keep the firmness of the legs, moving to Chaturanga 2, and then up to URDHVA MUKHA SVANASANA. Try to push the sternum more and more forward, pressing the dorsal spine in to move the sternum forward, and then bring the head gently back. When there's shortness in the cervical, bring the head up again and then move it back again with more length in the cervical till you feel that spaciousness, that freedom. And then exhale back to ADHO MUKHA SVANASANA. Restretch your arms, restretch your legs. Try to press the chest more and more open to the front thighs, but push the front thighs away from the chest to the back thighs. And now coming down onto your knees, sitting back on your heels, arms by the side of the body, child's pose. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation, observing all of these new sensations of openings. The inner channels are being cleared, the body is being aerated. And then slowly, gently rolling up, back to seated Vajrasana. Ascertain your evenness, your centrality. Before releasing the hands on the floor, cross the left knee behind the right, and come and sit between your feet. We're coming to Yoga Mudrasana in Gomukhasana 3. Stretching the arms forward. Keep the arms straight and long and spiraling so that the inner elbows are moving to the sky, the shoulders are broad. And through the length of the arms, feel the armpit chest clearing, the skin along the ribs underneath the armpits stretching, the entire waist beginning to find more and more length. Keep moving the trapezius muscles down the back, clearing the cervical spine. And then softly, gently, coming back up, uncrossing your legs, and now crossing your right knee behind your left, sitting on the floor or on a blanket if it's too much to sit on the floor. And then exhaling and finding Yoga Mudrasana in Gomukhasana 3 on the left-hand side. Stretching the arms forward, walking the fingertips forward, finding both the length and the spiral in the arms. Broadening the shoulders, moving the trapezius muscles down the back. Using the exhalation as a tool to dissolve any tension you may feel in the hips, in the groins. Keep releasing, keep relaxing, keep walking the fingertips forward, stretching the waist, stretching the trunk. And then inhaling, looking up, coming back up. And exhaling and releasing. So the hips are beautifully open now. The lower back is broad. We're going to bring this into some twists. Parivrita, PARSVA, KONASANA. Preparation poses. So from a kneeling position, step the right leg forward, making sure your knee is right above your heel, not over on your foot. So a 90-degree angle. Turn the left pelvis to the right so you're really facing the short edge of the mat. Then inhale, stretch the left arm up to the sky, making length in the trunk and the waist. And having found that, with an exhalation, turn and twist to your right, bringing the left tricep to the outside edge of the right thigh. Now see if you can bring the left hand all the way down to the floor, so your armpit is very close now to the outside edge of the thigh, as you stretch the right arm up to the sky. So this is a version of Parivrita PARSVA KONASANA. Make sure the hips are staying steady, find the outside edges of your hips, and draw them in towards each other to keep the firmness of the hips, so the spine is stretching from an even base. Keep rolling the bottom abdomen to the top, the bottom lung to the top, stretching the arms apart, lengthening the collarbones, and softening the throat and the face. And now coming out, releasing, we're going to change legs. So coming back to kneeling. And now bringing the left leg up and making sure your knee is right above your heel, not in any way on the front of the foot. Roll the right pelvis to the left, facing the short edge of the mat as you lift the right arm to the sky, looking for length in the waist, length in the trunk. And having found that, with an exhalation, come right across to the left, bringing the right tricep to the outside edge of the left thigh, hand down to the floor, turning, twisting, rolling the right abdomen to the left and stretching the left arm up to the sky. Find the outer edges of your hips and squeeze them towards each other to keep the stability of the hips. Beginning to turn, to twist, to rotate more and more, having softness in the abdomen so that the abdomen, the organs can roll and turn. Press the back ribs in. Try to push the chest open, stretching the arms apart, lengthening the clavicles as best as you can. And now relax the front throat, the face. Allow the tongue to recede backwards into the throat. Before exhaling, releasing, gently coming up to face forward, releasing the legs. Back in kneeling, move the tailbone forward, front shoulders back. And now again, bring the right leg forward, knee over the heel. Front shoulders rolling back, lift the pubic bone, make sure you're really facing the short edge of the mat. And now stretch the left arm to the sky, half URDHVA. Pull the upper arm back behind the ear. Find more length in the side of the trunk before exhaling and turning and twisting, bringing the left hand to the floor and stretching the right arm to the sky so the body knows what it's doing. It's going to move more easily now. Find the left side of your navel and with an exhalation roll the skin of the left navel to the right. And keeping that rotation, begin to wind now your top arm, your right arm around behind you and see if your left hand can also join it. So full binding, PARSVA KONASANA. Now roll the front shoulders back. With each exhalation, try to move the front shoulder girdle back. Keep the hips stable, the outer hips being squeezed in towards each other to hold that stability. And soften the abdomen, the organs, so that they can roll and turn and be squeezed and refreshed with fresh blood. Face passive, throat soft. Before exhaling and releasing. Coming back onto our knees, tailbone forward, front shoulders back, lifting the pubic bone up, lifting the sternum. And now changing, coming to the left leg. Stretch your right arm up to the sky, move the upper arm back behind the ear, find more length in the trunk, more length in the right waist. Sternum up to the sky, back ribs pressing in. And then with an exhalation, come across, twisting to the left, right fingertips to the floor, rolling, turning, twisting, and stretching the left arm up to the sky. Relax the breath, create an evenness, the softness that allows the rotation to move more freely. Find the outer hips and squeeze them in towards each other to create that base, that stability. And now with the action of the rotation, bottom abdomen to the top, wind that top arm around behind you, and the bottom arm, the right arm, underneath the thighs. See if you can join the hands behind the back, binding, holding. And continue the movement of the twist, trying to move the front shoulder girdle back over and over again. Trying to press the back ribs in, to feel broadness in the sternum area. Softness in the abdomen as it rolls, as it turns, as it squeezes and cleanses. And then gently releasing, slowly coming out. And coming to sit on your heels, palms turned open to the sky. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Now bringing the arms up, finding GARUDASANA with your arms. So bringing your right arm across, your left elbow is hooking it. Palms are pressing together, fingertips are moving up towards the sky as the shoulders are pressing down. Press the back ribs in, move the sternum forward. And then exhale and release. And now changing sides, stretching the left arm up, bringing the left arm across and the right arm hooks it. Then turn the palms in so they face each other, press them, fingertips up to the sky. Shoulder bones moving down away from the ears, sides of the neck even. Don't let the sternum drop, keep lifting the sternum up, moving the shoulders down, back ribs pressing in. And then exhale, unwind the arms and release back to Vajrasana. So continuing this opening of the shoulders now with the feet and the calves as well, Gomukhasana. Bring the left leg up and put the shin of the left leg on the back of the right calf and come down and sit on that left heel. Now bring the arms to Gomukhasana, folding the left arm behind you, lifting the right arm up and joining the hands between the shoulder blades. Lift the right elbow tip to the sky, the left elbow tip to the floor, and press the dorsal spine forward to open the chest. Keep pressing the thighs down and try to stretch more and more the entire front spine, from the pubic bone all the way up to the collarbone, having more length. Keep pressing the back ribs in, feeling that broadness come to the front ribs, sternum lifted. And then exhaling and releasing, we're going to change sides. So now the right shin is pressing on the back of the left calf, sitting on the right heel, the toes facing back. Find the sweet spot where you have that balance, and now bringing the right arm underneath and behind, stretching the left arm to the sky, and joining the hands between the shoulder blades, the dorsal spine now pressing forward to open the sternum. Press the front thighs down, stretch the front body, bringing more length to the anterior spine. Head back, cervical spine long, trapezius muscles moving down the back. Keep releasing and breathing into the feet, into the calves, the legs. And then exhaling, releasing, undoing your legs, and now crossing your left knee entirely and completely behind the right knee. Coming to sit on the floor or on a support between those feet. And coming forward to Yoga Mudrasana in Gomukhasana 3. Stretching the arms, spiraling the arms, inner elbows facing up to the sky, shoulders broad. With each exhalation, gently softening the hips and pushing the buttock bones back. Feel the difference between this one and the last one we did a few poses ago. Feel how the broadness, the evenness, the sensations are rich and deep. And then inhaling back up, releasing, coming onto the hands and knees to uncross the legs, and now crossing your right knee behind your left, widening the feet apart, and coming to sit on the floor, making sure there's some evenness between the left foot, the right foot, and then coming forward to Yoga Mudrasana in Gomukhasana 3. Have a softness in the face, a softness in the brain, the forehead receding backwards, a coolness settling deeply within you. Keep stretching the arms to stretch the trunk, stretching the waists, keeping that freedom in the front abdominal cavity, the front chest, and exhaling back into the hips, broadening, softening, deepening. Trapezius muscles moving down the back, clearing the neck energy. And then inhaling, coming gently back up, and exhaling onto your hands and knees, uncrossing the legs. And now coming to sit on your mats for UPAVISTHA KONASANA. So a nice wide V with the legs. Pull the buttock bones back and out to the side so the kneecaps are facing the sky. Press the front thighs down firmly to lengthen the waists. Fingertips on the floor behind you in Dandasana. Roll the front shoulder girdle back, lengthen the collarbones. Lift the lower sternum to the top sternum, press the back ribs in, feel that expansion coming to the chest. Head back, and now turn and twist towards your right. Keep the shoulders broad as you walk the hands forward. PARSVA UPAVISTHA KONASANA. Keep the hands on the floor so that they can extend further than the feet. Keep stretching the arms, stretching the sides of the waist, pressing the roots of the thighs down, pressing the buttock bones into the floor, pressing the heels down. Gently roll your left abdomen to your right as you stretch forward. Move the trapezius muscles down away from the ears. Press the back ribs in so that the sternum is moving towards the front thigh rather than the face. Front throat soft, tongue passive. And then coming back up, and now turning and twisting to the left. Press the root of the left thigh down to bring that stretch to the front waist, shoulders back, chest open. And now exhale and begin to walk the fingertips forward. Twisting UPAVISTHA KONASANA. Keep the shoulders broad as you walk the hands forward, hands on the floor so they can extend further than the foot. So you keep the idea of length, there's no stopping at the foot. Keep pressing the heels down, keeping the legs alert. Finding the inner rotation of the abdominal cavity, the right abdomen rolling to the left as you stretch forward and lengthen, lengthening the waists. Moving the trapezius muscles down the back, feeling the cervical spine lengthen out of the trunk, the back ribs pressing in to open the sternum to the front thighs. And then gently releasing, coming back up. Turning now again to the right, pressing the root of that right thigh down, feeling more length in the front waist, shoulders back, chest open, and having connected with that length, coming now to another version of twisting UPAVISTHA KONASANA, reaching with the left hand for the outside edge of that right foot. The right hand is on the floor, helping you to turn and twist, giving you a little pressure. Keep the legs very charged, the backs of the legs extended, the feet alert, as you turn and twist, so there'll be a little bit more potential for intensity. Keep rolling the left abdomen to the right, the left lung to the right, turning, twisting, pressing the back ribs in, but keeping that softness in the face. And then gently releasing, preparing now, turning to the left, pressing the root of the left thigh down in order to better stretch the front left abdominal cavity. And now reaching to our second version of the twist with the right hand for the outside edge of the left foot. Left fingertips are on the floor, helping you to access that rotation. Don't lose the connection with the legs. Keep the backs of the legs well charged as you rotate and turn and twist, bringing freedom, more and more malleability to the organs, to the trunk. Rolling the right to the left, the right abdomen to the left, the right lung to the left. Trapezius muscles down the back. And then gently releasing, unwinding, re-centralizing. And coming now to PARSVA UPAVISTHA KONASANA. So you're going to turn and twist to your left in order to come down to your right. So having found the rotation to the left, stretch the right arm down the inside edge of that right leg, holding the inner foot. Keep the root of the left thigh pressing down firmly, anchoring, and then stretch the left arm and take hold of the outside edge of the right foot. Draw the femur bones strongly into the hip sockets. Stretch the backs of the legs, press the heels down, the feet alert. Turning and twisting and rolling. Use the bent elbow on the floor and pressing against the inner leg to see if you can find more rotation. Front throat soft as you breathe. Go deep inside the trunk to find the rotation, to find the sponginess, the malleability, the softness that moves with the spiraling, opening, turning. And then coming back up, repress the roots of the thighs down and turn and twist now to your right, finding the rotation of the left abdomen to the right. And now extending your left arm down the inside edge of that left leg, inverting the hand, reaching for the inner foot. Keep the legs alert, the right hip pressing down, the right root of the thigh pressing down to lengthen more and more the right flank. And now stretching the right arm up, take hold of the outside edge of the left foot and pull with your hands to draw the femur bone into the hip socket, make that connection. Now soften the face, go with the senses deep inside the body. Find that sponginess, that softness, and roll with it, bottom abdomen to the top, bottom lung to the top, pressing the back ribs gently in to help this opening of the front body. Relax again the face as best as you can, pacify the tongue. And then inhaling, rising up, and bending your knees, and coming to Baddha Konasana. Heels close to the groin, holding onto the big toes. Roll the front shoulders back. Trapezius muscles down the back. Back armpits moving to the front armpits. Press the legs down. And now go ahead and rest your left elbow on your left thigh and use your right hand to give yourself an adjustment, pressing down and rolling back at the same time. Feel the side of the right waist stretching, the back of the right hip slightly stretching, the groin opening. And releasing, changing sides, right elbow resting on the right thigh, left hand doing the adjusting, pushing down and rolling back. So pushing the root of the thigh down and back, away from the waist, stretching the left waist, stretching the back of the left hip. Feel the groin, press the leg down. And then gently releasing, see if the heels will come a little closer after this opening. And now come forward to Yoga Mudrasana in Baddha Konasana. Charge your arms. In the length of the arms, still have the spiral of the arms where the inner elbows are rolling up to the sky. And in this way the shoulders can keep their broadness and the neck doesn't get congested. Send each exhalation into the hips, broadening, widening, as you walk the hands forward, bringing length to the trunk. Observe that the pubic bone hasn't fallen forward, that it's still perpendicular. Press the groins open, stretch the arms. Keep the sides of the neck even, and now observe what's happening in the jaw, the tongue. Release, relax, pacify. And then inhaling up, and now walking to the right. So coming to a twisting TRIKONASANA. Stretching that left arm diagonally forward. The right elbow can bend so the hand can press on the floor to help you to find the rotation. Try not to lift the left knee. Keep pressing the left inner thigh down as you turn and twist to the right. Find the inner rotation of the organs of the inner body. Comfortable now with the twisting process. They'll naturally flow in that direction. Left flowing to the right. Rolling, twisting. And now coming up, and we're going to twist to the left. So the right arm is stretched. Place the left hand on the floor, bending the elbow, and push into that hand to help you to twist as you stretch that right arm forward. Trapezius muscles away from the ears. Keep the groins well open. Don't let the pubic bone drop. Allow the body to find the natural rotation, rolling from the right to the left, all the way up the trunk, a spiral of rotationness, of twistingness. Before gently releasing, bringing the knees in towards each other. And we're going to continue our work now in supine positions on the floor. So turning around to face the short edge of the mat, you're going to come and lie down on your back. Roll the shoulders back, palms turned open to the sky. Make sure the buttocks are moving towards the heels. Just feel the evenness. Feel the support of the earth underneath you. And having experienced this evenness, this centrality, go ahead and stretch your left leg straight, making sure the thigh is rolling in, the heel pressing down into the floor. And now lift your right foot off the mat and find SUPTA PADANGUSTHASANA, holding the right big toe. Keep the left leg very charged. Stretch the left arm out to the side and draw the right leg closer and closer towards you as you push the front of that right thigh away from you in the opposite direction. Try to keep that length in the front spine, the shoulders rolled back, chest open. And now move your left leg 45 degrees out to the side and bring the right leg towards you and out to the right, finding a nice wide open lateral SUPTA PADANGUSTHASANA. Keep the left thigh rolling in, pressing the left heel to the floor as you draw the right leg higher and higher up so the foot is in line with the shoulder. Gently roll the right abdomen to the left, away from the right leg. Stretch the left arm. The legs very charged, very firm. Find the outside edge of your right femur bone and squeeze the outer edge of the right femur bone into the pose and feel the groin open more. The pubic bones widening, the abdomen broadening. And now bringing the leg back up and finding SUPTA PADANGUSTHASANA 2, hip opener. So bending that knee, holding the outside edge of the right foot and pushing the inner knee away from you. Make sure that you have space between the calf and the back of that right thigh. Keep the shoulders rolling back, the left leg charged, the left thigh rolling in, the heel pressing down. Relax again your front throat and keep rolling the outer skin of the right hip towards the left foot. And now gently releasing, feet to the floor, move the buttocks towards the heels. And then extend the right leg to SUPTA TADASANA, rolling that right thigh in, pressing the right heel down. And then bringing the left foot on the floor, reaching for the big toes, SUPTA PADANGUSTHASANA 1 on the left-hand side. So keep the backs of the legs very well stretched, and as you draw the left leg towards you, push the quadricep muscle of that left leg away from you to the back of the leg, broadening the back of the knee, broadening the back of the thigh. Keep the right leg, the anchoring leg, very alert, the heel pressing down, the shoulders rolled back, the back ribs pressing in, the chest open. And now move your right leg 45 degrees out to the right. Re-roll the right thigh in, press the heel down, and bring the left leg towards you and out to the left, finding a nice wide open lateral SUPTA PADANGUSTHASANA. Stretch the legs, push out through the balls of the feet, right arm out to the side, and find the rotation of the abdomen from the left to the right. Broaden the pubic bone, broaden the abdomen. Front shoulders rolling back, back ribs pressing in. Find the outside edge of your left femur bone and squeeze it into that leg. Feel the groin open more deeply when it's contained. And then bring the legs back in and back up, bending the legs and finding SUPTA PADANGUSTHASANA 2. So wrapping the right arm around the outside edge of the left foot, and your left hand is going to push the inner left knee away from you. Make sure there's space between the calf and the back of the left thigh, so it's a 90-degree angle with the knee. Keep the right anchoring leg charged, rolling in, heel pressing down, back of the thigh stretched. As the hip is opening, broadening, roll the shoulders back, relax the throat. And find the skin of the outer left hip, and with each exhalation gently roll it down towards the right foot. And then bending the knees, feet to the floor. Move the buttocks towards the heels, inner knees touching, palms open to the sky. Roll the shoulders back, deep inhalation, deep exhalation. And now lifting the arms up, crossing the thumbs and stretching the arms back onto the floor behind you. Stretch your legs to SUPTA TADASANA, the thighs rolling in towards each other, the inner knees touching, the inner feet touching. Long vertical stretch. Press the heels down firmly and pull the buttock bones towards the heels, and use the arms to stretch in the opposite direction. Move the trapezius muscles down the back. Feel that length coming to the body, both down and up, as if someone was pulling your feet and someone was pulling your fingertips. Keep stretching, feeling the skin fibers stretch, the muscle fibers stretch. The shoulder blades pressing in, broadness coming to the left front ribs, the right front ribs. Pubic bone lifting to the navel, navel lifting to the sternum, sternum to the collarbones. Keep lengthening the backs of the legs, pressing the heels down and pulling the buttocks with the heels so the lumbar has length, it's not overarching. And then gently releasing. And now re-stretching your arms, changing the cross of the thumbs, and bringing again the arms behind the head, stretching the arms, rolling the thighs in, stretching the legs. Inner knees touching, inner feet touching. Keep the feet alert, push through the ball of the feet, spread the toes, and use the heels to pull the buttock bones down towards the heels as you stretch the arms back. Feel the sides of the trunk stretching, the armpit skin stretching, the skin fibers, the muscle fibers. Keep the trapezius muscles moving down the back and the front face receding backwards, increasing that length, increasing that broadness from inside, stretching, opening. And then exhale and release. Then rolling over to the right-hand side of the body, pushing yourselves back up to sitting. We're going to now be using the wall for our next pose, VIPARITA KARANI. So taking a block, a bolster, and sandwiching the block to the wall with the bolster. And then a blanket folded in half, and this blanket is going to go on top of the bolster, so your hips are really going to have height. Now to come into the pose, it's best to come in from the side, sitting on the side of your bolster blanket. And then you're going to slowly come backwards, making sure the buttocks stay close to the wall, and bring the legs up against the wall. And then pushing the heels against the wall, lift the buttocks and see if you can come a little bit closer. If the blanket needs adjusting, adjust it now. Then settling the back hips on the blanket, roll the shoulders back, trapezius muscles moving away from the ears. Bending the elbows, the forearms are parallel, palms open to the sky. And gently close the eyes. For now, the inner knees are lined up, the inner feet are lined up, and have the sensation that the quadricep muscles are moving away from you towards the wall. Check that you feel that you're lying right in the middle of the back skull. And having established all of this, now allow your feet to widen the distance of your hips. And let the inner thighs roll to the outer thighs, the inner knees roll to the outer knees, the inner ankles roll to the outer ankles. With an exhalation, allow the entire front face to recede backwards towards the earth. Allow the eyelids to be very soft and delicate, resting, and the eyeballs to be also resting in the eye sockets. The outer corners of the eyes flowing towards the temples. The inner corners of the eyes receding backwards towards the back brain, bringing a further level and layer of coolness and softness. With an exhalation, relax completely the shoulders, the upper arms, the elbows, the forearms. Feeling a sense of liquidness coming into the hands, into the palms, porousness, softness, all the way through to the fingertips. With an exhalation, relax and release completely the hips, the buttocks, the groins, letting them rest completely on the bolster. Allowing the bolster to create, to sculpt a shape with the body. Resting the abdomen completely on the spine. feeling that natural curvature in the middle upper back, that natural openness of the chest. Soft, smooth inhalations, soft, smooth exhalations. Allow the legs to relax more and more. The femur bones resting naturally, deeply in the hip sockets, making a full and even connection from the front to the back, from the inside to the outside. Relax the pubic bone. Let it be broad, soft. The inner groins releasing, the muscles of the thighs releasing the thigh bones. Visualize the organs in the trunk becoming spongy, finding their natural sponginess, their natural state, their natural softness. And observe the sensations of the soft breath, moving in even, gentle streams through the body, bringing healing, bringing life force, a deep dissolving of tension, a releasing, receding more and more to the ground, more and more with gravity. Soft, smooth inhalations, soft, passive exhalations. Let the lower jaw hang from the top jaw, the root of the tongue inert, descending backwards towards the throat. The glottis and the throat completely soft and passive. In this way, feeling your innocence, feeling your renewal. Resting in the deep awareness of that. And now, softly, gently, lightly wiggling the fingers, lightly wiggling the toes, allowing this deep awareness to include the external world, and then bending your knees and crossing your ankles and resting the outer ankles, the outer shins, the outer knees on the wall. SUKHASANA in VIPARITA KARANI. Relax again the hips, relax again the groins, the abdomen, keeping that softness, keeping that surrender, observing the sensations, the richness, the detail. All of these experiences flowing through. The breath smooth and regular. The nervine system deeply released. The brain passive. The face quiet. And now gently, we're going to change the cross of the ankles and resettle the outer ankles, resting against the wall, SUKHASANA on the other side. Watch for any little tensions that are rising up. Keep releasing them, relaxing them. Staying right here in this moment, present, observing this experience, resting in this awareness. Feel the spaciousness of the sternum, the broadness, the softness in this area. And now gently uncrossing the legs, the ankles, pushing the feet against the wall and moving yourselves backwards off your bolsters until the hips come to the floor. Roll the shoulders back, the arms extended away from the body, the palms open. Feel the evenness of the body before gently rolling over to the right hand side. Almost finished now. Last upper back opener, chest opener, using the block. You can move the rest of the equipment, and you're going to come and lie down on your mats with your legs straight, a precursor to SAVASANA. So rolling the thighs in, the buttocks moving towards the heels. The block can be on two heights. It can either be flat or up like this. So choose, depending on your flexibility or your sensation today, what the body gives. And then lying back so the blocks are supporting the shoulder blades. The legs are straight, rolled in, heels pressing down. Roll the front shoulders back and bring the crown of the head to the floor. So supported UTTANAPADASANA. Bending the elbows, holding onto the elbow tips. The forearms are above you on the floor behind you, coming towards the floor. Keep pressing the roots of the thighs down. And as you press the roots of the thighs down, you're going to maximize the stretching of the abdominal cavity, the stretching of the left waist, of the right waist. And with your fingertips, pull the elbow tips towards the floor and press the block, the shoulder blades, into the upper back to open the chest more and more. Feel the skin of the armpits stretching. Move the trapezius muscles down, away from the ears, the sides of the neck even. Broadening, spreading like a fountain coming out of the chest. Relax the face. Relax the eyes. No effort. Just the experience, the awareness of the experience. And now uncross your arms, re-stretch your arms straight. With that action, find more length before changing the cross of the arms, taking hold of the elbow tips again. Press the roots of the thighs down, lengthen the backs of the legs, press the heels down, keep the feet alert. Keep moving the buttocks towards the heels and drawing the pubic bone up. Visualize the organs having new space, the left front ribs and the right front ribs lifting, broadening, stretching evenly. Pull the elbow tips down, press the block into the upper back, opening the density of the chest. Visualizing a fountain coming out of the sternum. Allow the clavicles to be long, the head to flow back, the cervical spine to stay long. And relax again the jaw, the tongue. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. And now bring the arms up and out to the side, resting the hands on the floor. Breathe, feel, experience, before pushing yourselves back up. And now coming to our final pose, Shavasana. Taking a blanket folded in half, this is going to support the cervical spine and the back of the skull. Widening the heels apart so they're in line with the corners of the mat. And then lying down. Pulling the blanket right in so it's really supporting the base of the cervical, not the shoulders, just the base of the cervical. Roll the shoulders back, move the trapezius muscles down the back. Make sure the lumbar is connected to the floor, if not, move the buttocks towards the heels again until you feel the connection of the lower back on the ground. Arms extended out to the side. Keep rolling the shoulders back so the back armpit is moving towards the front armpit. Soften the palms, soften the fingers. Soften the feet, soften the toes. Allow the eyes to rest completely in the eye sockets. The cheeks soft, the temples soft. The lower jaw hanging from the top jaw, and the tongue inert, receding backwards towards the throat. Releasing and relaxing, having that psychology of surrender, of complete and utter restingness. Stay here for as long as you can, as long as the body needs. Allowing this spaciousness, this healingness to take place, and resting in the awareness of all of this. May we know peace, may we know love, and may we help all those that we come into contact with to feel the same. Om, peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. I hope we practice again together soon.